What's up, y'all? We're back, man. Back again. Bro, I look forward to this for multiple reasons. One, I just get to insult you on camera and just editing that last one.
I miss fucking roasting you on camera.
Editing that last one, I enjoy watching that back. Yeah. And I've been getting a lot of great feedback, bro. I've been getting a lot of great feedback.
We ain't even really pushed the shit yet.
That's the beauty of it, though. I feel like that is gonna like build us a little core audience. And before you know it, once we really rocking and rolling, we're out of here.
Imagine when we really pushing this shit.
I know. We got so many ideas, man. That's the beauty of it, though, because we get to take our time. We don't have to feel. It doesn't feel forced. We're kind of building it organically, letting it kind of happen.
I love it, man. I love this shit, man. This
was your idea, so I got to give you.
It's not my idea.
It was your idea, bro. Like you came to me with this and was like, "I want."
Yeah, fucking brilliant, dude.
See, I was about to show you love. But no, I was gonna say like, thank you for for wanting to do this, because you didn't have to convince me, but it was not something that I was thinking of us doing together. Even though I feel like we make magic whenever whenever we're on camera.
No, but I agree, man, and I mean we do it every fucking night on the phone.
True.
I was just like, why don't we record it? I mean, some of our best episodes have never been recorded.
Yes, bro, that's crazy. And I feel like one day we'll get to a point where we're like letting that shit resurface, though.
Yeah, I hope so, man, because it's just like I remember when I have a song in the middle of the night, this is dope, but if you don't write it down,
we were just going through that. Fuck, did we not write down the topics for the day?
Because I'm gonna forget.
Me too, though.
Way too much weed,
right, bro? Shit. Man, I just finished smoking.
No, but I'm glad we're doing it, and I love the name. Name of the show is Conversate, for those of you who don't know.
Conversate.
And we know our grammar is not correct, and we don't give a fuck.
Right. We embrace it. We embrace it.
Lean into it.
Right. But what you been up to, bro? Chilling?
I
mean, I know, but...
I mean, I'm just dealing with so much shit right now, man. That's another reason I love this, because this shit is like, it's an opportunity for me just to get away from the reality that I'm living right now, just dealing with all these motherfucking snakes and alligators, man. I'm swamping right now, man. I'm in the swamp. But we'll get through it, man. We keep pushing, hopefully.
I feel like that's always my bad. Go ahead.
No, hopefully truth and justice wins out, but unfortunately it doesn't always.
Yeah, that's a fact.
As I've told you.
I always feel like a bittersweet. I don't even know if bittersweet is the word, but I'm always like torn when it comes to me reacting to people I feel did any type of wronging towards me or whatever reason. It's like, how would they handle me if the tables were turned? Man. You know what I mean? Like, would they be offering as much grace that I offer them?
Right. No, it's a good question, and the answer is probably no.
Exactly. And that's always like the little good voice and bad voice on my shoulders, like, just show them how grimy you can be. And then also it's like, I don't have that in me, man. Man,
I've been having that fucking Dre fucking line. Y'all gonna keep fucking around with me and turn me back to the old me.
I love that you do that, bro.
What?
That's becoming a thing on here.
Oh, my little line?
Yeah, like you always take a lyric. I love that, though. That's fire to me.
Too many.
That's
of them,
fire.
Man.
You just want people to think you know music. It's pretty slick, bro. You're a slick guy, bro. You are. That's a compliment. Take it.
Your entire musical fucking knowledge has expanded 100-fold since you met me.
That is not true,
like,
bro.
Listen to the fucking playlist that I send you.
Okay, you got me there.
You would be
okay, but you got to let me make you an R&B playlist.
Well, yeah, but I keep waiting for it.
But it's gonna be shit that you don't know, though. So you got to come into an open-minded, bro.
I already had a little. My girl put me up on Brent Fires.
Oh my gosh, bro! I've been put you on Brent Fires.
You didn't send me anything. She played the shit for me.
Okay, I'm slipping.
And I was like, oh yeah, Justin loves this dude too.
But you know why? Because you always like insult my music. My music taste. So I don't feel like you deserve it, bro. Like you got to earn it.
I don't think you earned my playlist because you.
No, I'm tapping in today though because you are right.
I made him a Prince playlist, which is fucking incredible. And
that was actually born on this show. Remember
yes,
we talked. We had the Michael Jackson Prince talk,
and which I won that debate.
It wasn't a debate because I'm not informed enough about Prince, and that's why you made the playlist.
And it made me actually want to make a Mike playlist, man,
and compare him. Who did you say again? You said Prince. You said Prince was watching Mike.
No, I didn't say that. Bullshit. I said that there's nobody. Go back to the tape.
Yeah.
Basically, I think that the bottom line was that Prince is a better
overall
artist. But Mike, I mean, Mike, just his charisma is his. That dude, but it made me want to because Liam loves Michael Jackson. So,
really?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah. And then, and actually, me and Ayana had a little fucking Michael Jackson video, little fucking watching hell of his videos and shit.
Oh, okay,
so,
okay.
That motherfucker.
Maybe we could do that one day. We can like pick two artists and do like a versus on the show. What you think about that?
We could do that, but we should do maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
or let's do eras. It don't have to be. It don't have. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But I mean, that might be dope for the live show too. We're gonna do a live show.
That's true.
Soon.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I know.
That's gonna be
embarrassing in front of everybody.
Oh
man.
gosh, we gotta get
another city victory.
You know what? No. Don't see. That's how rumors get started. You know what I'm ready for? We need a guest, bro. We gotta figure out who our first guest is gonna be. It gotta be a good one.
It does. I was thinking about that, man. I was thinking about that. We definitely want to start getting into some guests, but I want to have like diverse guests, like
for sure.
But from different things, whether obviously sports and music, but I want to like extend it even further, like maybe politics.
I'm with that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm with that.
Business.
I'm with that.
I'm trying to think.
Whatever we feel, I feel like there's no limit. There's no limit to who we can sit down and chop it up.
Maybe when we get the new studio space, we do that.
I'm with that. Sound like a plan.
Yeah. What's on the agenda for today, man?
Let's jump. Well, you didn't ask me how I was doing. Clearly, you don't give a damn. But I'm used to it, bro. I'm used to being treated this way by
I've
you.
I've heard your whole thing before we start. How are you, Justin?
I'm not telling you. No, I'm doing good, man. I'm right. I'm working, man. I'm just working through some things, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. But I'm good. I'm good for the most part. Get ready for 2024. Ready for 2024.
Dude. December tomorrow,
bro. I tell everybody it's like the weather is now like bipolar and time is in fast forward.
Man, well, let me just put you up on something. The older you get, the faster time moves.
Oh, that might be it. But you don't feel like time is?
I mean, man, I'm gonna be 55 in a few weeks, so hopefully you got my present already. But
yeah, I got a present for you. All right.
I don't want nothing that you got. When you're young, time moves slow, right? Because you want everything to happen, and then when you get old, you're just like, man, this shit just won't slow down, bro.
I wonder what that's related to.
I just think it's you running out of time, even though you're running out of time, and it says like when it comes to raising kids. From the time they're born to 12 years old, time doesn't fly to me. Once they hit 12, bro, the next thing you know, they walking out the door. That's been my experience. From 12 on, the fucking time just flies, bro.
That's interesting.
Flies, man.
I also think, just me personally, I kind of lost a sense of time since COVID. Since 2020, I kind of. Like, I can't remember if something happened last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's
like,
funny you say that because the thing I'm going through, my lawyers asked me, when did that happen? I don't even fucking
When we were just talking about today, I was like, wait, how long has it been? And then when you told me, I'm like, damn, for real?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it's hard for me to remember, like, especially when there's hella shit going on, man. I just be keeping it moving, man. But yeah. Well, I'm glad you're doing well, man.
Yeah, same.
I think 2024 is going to be a big year. We got a lot of things we building for the town, and really excited about that.
Appreciate
I'm glad that I'm being involved in that more, man.
And of course, we're so happy to have you. Let's jump right into it, though, man. Well, I think with all of these, sexual assault allegations going on, I kind of was just sitting back thinking of like cancel culture, right? And then you think of the Me Too movement, where this was like trendy. Right, like and again, no disrespect to victims of sexual assault or anything like that, but it became, a thing. And I just wanted to, like, what are your thoughts on cancel culture? Do you think it exists? Do you think that's a real thing?
Clearly, it exists, and it's. Yes, it exists, and it's kind of like the stuff we've talked about before. Like, I understand how we got here. The Me Too stuff. That's a separate thing from the cancel culture, in my opinion. But the Me Too stuff, though, are you suggesting that was sort of the beginning of it? Because maybe it was.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it might have been.
I think that's when it became okay to stand up for yourself when you're going through certain things. And I don't want to get too namey when it comes to it, but I mean, you hear of all of these people with power in certain positions where they're leveraging opportunities and things in exchange
that's been going
for.
on from the beginning of time.
But I think the Me Too movement was like. It was like almost it was a movement. It was the Me Too movement.
No, for
you know
sure.
what I mean? So it had everybody
and
comfortable coming forward.
No, it did, and I'm so glad that happened.
True.
But also, like, there's also a but, and that's kind of what I think gets lost in cancel culture. And there's nuance and there's intention, and obviously there's no nuance and intention when it comes to sexual assault or sexual harassment. And that's been going on for so long, and women didn't have a voice for so long, and the Me Too movement was liberating in that sense, and I'm glad that happened
because it became normalized.
It became normalized, and what was normalized before that was to not say anything.
Exactly.
And I think there was a show called Mad Men. Did you ever watch that?
Mad Men.
It was a hell of a good show, but man, I was watching that and I was thinking of like my mom in that era, in the workplace and stuff, and I was like, it was like kind of damn near rapey. Like it was like women just were objectified to a level that was crazy, man. And her answer was, yeah, it was like that. Now the flip side of it is that, women can lie too, and not every accusation is true.
I've actually experienced that.
I was going to ask you, have you experienced that?
Never directly, so I'll tell a quick story, and I promise I'm going to let you get back. So I'm in college. Let's say it's a Friday night, right? It's this chick who, I'm at a small school at the time, my national junior college in Nebraska. So, we all kind of know each other. It's a small school. So we're in the dorms. This chick who everybody knows, I'm not attracted to her.
Everybody knows.
We're kicking it. She's texting me on something like, come through, right? And we actually ended up in one of my close friends, his dorm room. We weren't even in my dorm room. We were in his dorm room just kicking it. And she was like trying to, but for whatever reason, I was just not feeling it. So I ended up not doing it. The next day, two of my teammates, my boy whose dorm I was in, and I think one more dude who just went to the school but kicked it with us, they all ran a train on the girl.
Wow.
So as she's coming down from getting the train, and at first we're all kicking it in the room. Remember, that's not my bag really, right? So we're all kicking it in the room, and they talking about going to go do it. I'm invited too, but I go to my dorm like I'm cool. So as she's leaving to go to work, after they done doing what they do, she's walking down the stairs. She sees one of our teammates who is a Mormon, and he was in the process of trying to convert her into becoming Mormon from whatever she was before. And when she saw him, she just broke down crying and then screamed, "They raped me."
Wow.
And it got so serious that I had to take the stand.
Damn.
I had to show text messages of her trying to have sex with me the night before. I had to testify that I was invited, and this was like I know this for a fact. Now, what happened in the room, I wasn't in there no more.
And she could have been doing that, and still
exactly.
That doesn't mean she didn't get
exactly.
raped, right?
And that was kind of my whole stance on it. It was like, listen, all I know is what I experienced, and that was just my way of kind of supporting. But like I told him, bro, I'm not going up there swearing on anything because I don't know what went down. But being an athlete in college, that was something that you got
a target on.
I know a few other. I could go a few more stories where that happened. So you are right. Women do lie, and it's just such a. I don't know. I hear so many stories of I have a lot of female friends, and just hearing some of the horror stories, and when some things come out on Twitter, it makes you think back like, damn, have I ever made somebody feel uncomfortable in any kind of way?
For sure. You got to think about that shit, and I feel like I haven't, but like, I mean, I'm very confident I haven't, but that movement made everybody sort of pay more attention to that, and which is a good thing. But again, yes, we have to listen to women, and it's really hard for women to come forward. And there's the way things were set up, it was like so many, like people would say, well, why did it take them so long to come forward? There's hella reasons why it would take. I don't put what I'm saying? There's hella reasons why it would take a woman. They're gonna be victim bashed. They're gonna be, like in that situation. That's a perfect example. I'm not saying whatever happened, but she could have been blowing up 5 guys that night trying to fuck, and still whatever happened could have been non-consensual. Exactly. Like just because a woman dresses away or acts away or has a lot of
or has sex with you in the past,
it doesn't mean. So all that is important but we still do live in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty.
And
we have pulled away from that a little bit, and that's important. And there has to be a way to find a way to listen to women and believe women, but also give people their due process.
Mm-hmm.
You have a right to be presumed innocent until the facts show that you are. I mean, the burden of proof in the legal system is to show beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I don't want to get off topic, but I think that's a very interesting point that you just brought up, because when you sit back and think about it, right, it's like I've been lied on by women. Never anything to that extent, but you know, there's people that have said I've had sex with them, and I know for a fact I didn't.
Right. It's crazy.
And when you look back on it, it's just like, damn, how did I get myself in this situation? That's kind of how I started to move, right? Just being careful. And on the flip side of it, when you are a third party kind of on the outside looking in, it's like you feel so bad for the woman, because you know that her probably first step was blaming herself.
Yeah.
Of putting herself in that position, right? Sure. To kind of touch on what I just said.
Right.
Like I said, not to get off on a tangent, but I wonder how much of, you know, people coming forward closer to, you know, it happening. I wonder how much of that is just the faith that they have lost in the justice system as a whole.
Man, I think it's probably so many layers to it, and one size is not going to fit all in that, right? But I think that was another part of the Me Too movement that was so important, is that the before that, the way things were set up, it just like there was so many reasons not to come forward. You know what I mean? And not just internally, whatever you were going through, but externally, what you would have to, the obstacles and the shit you would have to deal with. But I think your point is a good one. Like internally, there's shame, there's blaming yourself. There's all. I mean, we're not women, so we don't. Right. But like I think about, we both have daughters, and it's just like, you know, guys are fucking fucked up, man. Yep. You know, and guys get aggressive, and guys are fucking don't take no for an answer, and you know, it's really fucking like I'm glad I'm not a woman, man.
Right.
To face all that shit.
For sure.
So I'm glad that the Me Too movement sort of made that more, you know, I hope it made it more inviting for women to share their experiences if something happened, and get help and get support and get consequences when they're appropriate. But I do think that's part of how we got to cancel culture. And then, of course, the quote unquote woke shit is a part of it, right? But I think for me, the problem with cancel culture is that the idea that, you know, people can't engage in discourse or debate and have a point of view. I mean, I've already come, like, as a white male, I know my opinion. I can't have an opinion on anything publicly.
That's interesting.
And here's where a guy like me is kind of like, okay, I accept that publicly, but privately you gonna hear my motherfucking opinion.
Right.
You know what I mean? But publicly, white men have dominated for so long that if this is the era where we got to shut the fuck up, hey, you know, I'll rock with that to a certain degree, but
it's almost punishing you for the sins of people that essentially have no connection to you in the grand scheme of things.
Sure, but again, right? Like, and that's where, you know, context matters. If that's the space we're in now, and
you respect that,
then that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna say I respect it, but like I accept it.
Okay, I get
but
that.
One-on-one or in a group situation, or I'm gonna tell you how the fuck I feel.
So let's take it off of the sexual assault, right? What about when things like old tweets get resurfaced, or, you know, sometimes there's things that people are involved in certain time periods where they were more acceptable, and now when you look back on them in hindsight, it's like, wait, y'all put that on TV?
Oh yeah, no, that's a great point. That's a great point. And so that's a great point too, right? Like, there's some movies that would never be made,
right?
Now, but they're fucking great movies,
right?
And that's where, like. And again, everything that I say is coming from a white male. So, okay, there's the patriarchy, there's the white this. I get it. But yo, when it comes to art, like comedy, me and my girl had this conversation.
Great one.
I feel like comedy needs to be protected.
I agree.
From the cancel culture. I feel like
that's a great conversation.
Comedy is to me is a artistic format or artistic genre or whatever we call it that it has value, and you get to expose the rawest parts of humanity and the worst parts of humanity, but then all laugh at it together.
Exactly.
And if we restrict comedians from doing that, I just feel like we lose.
I agree with that 1,000%. And then I think comedy, it's one of the last pure forms of art that we have left, where there are comedians that I know don't give a damn about cancel culture. Like they embrace it. Like cancel
Chappelle.
me. Yeah, right. Yep. He's great at it. Yep. You know what I mean? And I think and this is, again, I don't want to go on a tangent, but I think his style of the stuff he's been doing lately, it's comedy, but it's almost like he's creating his own little subgenre of just like, because I don't even know if I classify those as jokes. They're just like punchlines that he
I mean, to me, it's social commentary as much as anything else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, I haven't seen all the stuff. I know he's in trouble with the trans community, and again, that's another thing. Like, I don't even know if that's the right word. Like,
bro, it's hard to keep up with.
It's hard to keep up with it. I had that conversation with my sister, and I, I get like pronouns and stuff, right? I get that it matters. But I do feel like sometimes we're majoring in the minor. Again, white male, easy for me to say this, but like when we focus on those things so much, sometimes I think we're not dealing with, because then everybody gets in their little corners and they're arguing about pronouns as opposed to the fact of, okay, let's talk about why people are like this, what it means, what we can do to make sure we're not, we're supporting them.
Not alienating.
We miss this because we're caught up in this other stuff. But again, easy for me to say, you know what I mean? I know my pronouns.
Right.
Do you know your pronouns?
Of course, bro.
What are yours?
He.
Mine is thee, this, and that. Sometimes I'm the motherfucker. Sometimes I'm this motherfucker. But most of the time, I'm that motherfucker.
That was good. You should do stand up.
That, and the.
You should do stand up.
Well, so you can come heckle me?
Boo! Get off this. But no, I think that's an interesting point, right? And then to kind of unpack it a little bit more is like, obviously there are times where cancel culture is needed. When certain things come out.
When do you think someone should be canceled? When should someone's voice or perspective or point of view be shut down? Or when should somebody lose their job because of how they think?
When there's forms of abuse involved. I think that's one that I can usually stand on. Like, again, if you're,
like the Diddy situation.
1,000%.
So he should lose everything.
I think that's because, okay, right? You get torn because the settlement was made, which means there was agreement came to. Then there's a civil suit and there's nothing criminal coming from it.
Okay.
At least not yet.
He settled the day after it came out.
Yeah, and it's reported for a hefty penny too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But in that, right? So it's like, am I going to be more upset than the victim? Because
that's a great point, and I think that happens a lot too. A lot of times people are more upset. That's an extreme case
for sure.
But like on the other stuff, when it's just words, a lot of times people are more upset than the person.
People that are offended.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. Right. So when I'm never somebody. I don't think.
So should words ever get somebody?
That's what I was just about to touch on. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I tweeted something 10 years ago when I was a college student that you should be able to hold that against me now at 32 years old.
Okay.
I just don't agree with that.
So I had a debate with somebody who actually is a dear friend of mine now, but this caused a real rift in our relationship for a minute. It was about the Jerry Jones thing. Remember that story?
Yes.
Right, so
this is a good one.
So the Jerry Jones picture came out, and it was a picture. He grew up in Arkansas, and like, this is the 50s or 60s, so it had to be the 60s. So Jerry Jones grows up in Arkansas. He's like 14-year-old when the Arkansas schools were being integrated, and there's a picture of one or two little black girls going to school, and it's all these crackers yelling at him. Jerry's sort of behind the scenes watching. He's not in the front row yelling, and everybody got upset because they're like, well, Jerry Jones was there at this situation.
He's pictured in the picture,
He's in the picture.
Right.
He's in the picture. I had a friend reach out, and she was like, she got upset because Stephen A. Smith was defending Jerry Jones. And she's like, she was African American. She's like, look at this, whatever, defending Jerry Jones and using his platform. And I was like, well, look, I don't care about this. But I said, I already know who Jerry Jones is. I know who Jerry Jones was based on how he acted during the whole Kaepernick thing. And I know who Jerry Jones is. Like, I don't need this picture to tell me who it is. That said, he was 14 years old.
Exactly.
In Arkansas in 1960 or whatever it was. Like, he's not, like, if he was in the front row screaming at him, that's one thing.
Or spearheading this operation or anything.
And then she was like, I don't care about that. Like, your parents grew up on that. Yeah, but my parents grew up here. And then, like, people always give me credit for, you this cool white. Well, I was raised by parents who were literally in Mississippi for the civil rights movement. So am I some great guy, or was this how I was raised?
Exactly.
How you were raised matters.
Exactly.
And to expect a 14-year-old to go up against everybody.
I was going to let you finish, and that's where I was going to come in.
Like,
right
that's
there.
expecting a lot. Now,
at that point, he's putting himself at risk.
Well, and does he even have that? Like, where would he have that motivation? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Now, I don't. Maybe he made and so to cancel him based on the picture, we don't know what happened that day. Maybe he saw it and was like, man, that's fucked up what y'all doing, man. I doubt it.
Right.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's because I have a defense, trial attorney father, but it's like, find out the fucking facts. And that's the other thing I don't like about cancel culture, and then I want to hear your take on it. But, like, people react to a small clip or react to what other people say, and they don't even know the full fucking facts of what happened.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I think about that all the time. Like, if I got in a fight, say I got in a fight with a homeless person that wasn't white in the city, and someone filmed it, they would probably be like, tech bro beats up houseless person. Not knowing that the houseless person probably ain't from here, fucked with me, not knowing all I do. People would take that clip and just make it into something.
Fact. And we experienced that together with our clips going viral from the interview that we did when we first met, of people literally telling us your story who don't even know you, who probably don't even live in this state. They just see a clip and they, you know what I mean? And it's like,
didn't watch the whole video.
Exactly. That's another one, right? Like you said, context matters.
It does.
Right?
Or people will grab a news article, post it, and don't just go off the headline
and don't read the article. Oh, I hate when people do that.
The article might contradict the headline.
That's why I like those little Twitter troll pages where it'll be like Shams, or what's the other guy?
Oh yeah,
Woj.
Yeah.
But it'll be like the spelling will be a little off, so it'll be a fake page. But then they'll tweet some wild shit, and everybody's like reacting to it, and it's like
fucking pigeons. Man.
Exactly. But for me, when it comes to cancel culture, I just feel like I agree with you when it comes to, again, like, you can't punish me for who I was when I was a kid.
Right.
Now, again, there is limitations to that, right? Now, if I'm abusing somebody, or, but I'm also the guy that I feel like, growing up where I did, it was a blessing that I didn't partake in some activities, right? Okay, Bay Area, pimp culture.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of that.
Right.
But I see how a lot of my friends got involved in it because that's normal out here.
And I'm sure if Twitter existed back then, you might have tweeted something that, would offend people now.
Oh, man. Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I used to get in trouble for my Twitter in college.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's just like, and that's who you were then. That's not who you are now.
Right.
Like, and this idea that everybody is the arbiter of what everybody, and the judge, jury, and executioner of how you lived your life, motherfucker. Like, who the fuck?
Yeah, there's no right or wrong way, bro. And everybody always is always trying to tell somebody else what the best decision for them is.
With no context, no experience.
You don't even know me. You don't even know me.
Right.
What I don't like about cancel culture is it's not consistent. It's very picky, choosy.
Sure,
they call it selective politicking. They'll cancel some people and not others.
Yeah, that's true.
But at the same time, I think, and I hope this doesn't sound fucked up, but I think that a lot of times that I don't even know if I should say this, bro. I feel like a lot of times, like, the victims in certain situations don't come out if their abuser isn't of a certain stature. Is that fucked up to say?
I mean, I'm sure some people, and that's kind of the point. The idea that we're worried about what to say, that's not a healthy space. Like ideas and thoughts shouldn't be suppressed because, you know, I mean, we should get it out. So in that situation, you have that thought, then there should be a healthy, robust conversation, and somebody could say, "Well, Justin, let me tell you why that's."
And then I can process that,
and we can talk.
Now I can make an educated decision.
But when we do this cancel shit, now everybody is defensive and everybody feels aggrieved, and it's just like, yo, man, you know, and we don't that. Everything is just so tribal now, and everything is just so like, you know. You have to put trigger warnings on everything. Like there's some great art that now you can't even watch. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Did you ever see Bad News Bears? The original Bad News Bears? Look, it's horrible, right? There's horror, but it was a fucking hilarious.
Oh, like inappropriate jokes and stuff?
Oh man, I mean it was crazy, but it was hilarious when it came out, right? And I'm talking about people of color thought it was hilarious, right? Blazing Saddles. Did you ever see that? Mm-hmm. Mel Brooks, who is a Jewish comedic director, one of the best ever, makes Blazing Saddles. Mm-hmm. And the cancel culture folks would watch that, and there's N-words in it, and there's all kind of shit in it, right? And they might want to cancel it, but the fact is that it was a groundbreaking fucking film. And Mel Brooks was a really progressive guy, right? Mm-hmm. And in that movie, a black man is the lead. He's the hero of the movie. He's fucking a white woman in the movie. Like, it was so ahead of its time. But just if you just trip off the language on the surface of it, you'll miss all of that. Right. So it's like we have to be able to deal with nuance, and we have to be able to deal with context, and we have to be able to deal with layers of shit and artistic expression. And
right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I wanted to get to next, right? So let's say somebody that, you know, is in the entertainment industry has some egregious allegations put out on them. Is it appropriate to separate the art from the artist?
An interesting question, right? Woody Allen's a perfect example, right?
I mean, we can go on and on.
On and on. Woody Allen, like, his fucking movies are some of my favorite movies ever. They're hilarious, right? But he's a fucking monster. Bill Cosby.
Yep.
Did you watch the Bill Cosby documentary?
I did.
And it's a 4-part documentary. It's an incredible documentary. And I thought he did an amazing job because he talks about Cosby and he really shows what a monster he was. But he also talks about how important he was. Like, and it made me go back and watch some of the Cosby Show. Me and Liam was watching it. Bro, that show was so ahead of its time.
I mean, we were getting to see successful black family.
Yes, but I'm talking about all the stuff that's the irony of all the stuff we're talking about. Like, it was so progressive, and it was so like dealing with issues that we're dealing with now. Another thing about Bill Cosby. So Bill Cosby gets on I Spy, which is the first time a black man had a major role on a sitcom.
Okay.
And they're doing some stunts, and they bring out a white dude. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, you have a white dude do the stunts for me? Wow. He's like, nah, fuck that. They was like, well, we don't have any black stuntmen. And there's a black dude on the set, and he goes, what about him? And they interviewed the black man. This black man became one of the premier stuntmen in Hollywood because he happened to be on the set. But Bill Cosby was like, no.
That's amazing.
You know? And so he had black writers and one of the strike that just happened. I know I'm talking a lot, but the strike that just happened with the Actors Guild, right?
The writers'
One of the things that came out of it is that now on set they're going to have makeup artists and hair people for people of color, people with textured hair and people with different shades. They didn't have that before because a lot of black actresses, especially, be like, yo, they got this white girl doing my hair.
What
the fuck she doing?
Exactly. That's real shit.
The thing with Shannon Sharp. I don't know if that was a black woman or not, but the first or second day on first take.
With the makeup thing where you look, that was crazy.
I don't know if it was a white person that did it, but anyway, back to Bill Cosby, separating the art from the artist. I don't know that you can throw away Bill's contribution to black folks in Hollywood and beyond, bro. Like, it was so important. Do you just throw that away?
So is there an extent that goes to, or is that just?
I mean, look, like for me,
and I don't want to get too particular, but it's just, because these are things that I think about.
What's your answer?
To what? Can you? I separate the art from the artist.
Separate the art from the artist.
Yeah,
so you still bumping R. Kelly.
I'll do you one. I'll do you one more recent. I'm not getting rid of Tory Lanez's music, bro.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay. That's how I feel about Mike. I didn't watch none of the Mike documentaries. I don't give a fuck.
So R. Kelly, Mike,
I stopped
was
listening to R. Kelly.
Really.
Yeah, I stopped listening to R. Kelly.
See, I never.
That motherfucker got hits.
Oh man, he got so many hits. He got so many hits, bro. And he got hits for every occasion,
and he got
bro.
hits for other artists.
Like he got hits you could play at the funeral, at the wedding, at the cookout, bro.
He got so many hits, bro.
Bro. That's how I feel about Tory Lanez, though. Tory Lanez is one of my favorite artists.
So for him, so it's selective, and I'm fine with that. It's selective.
Because I'm not gonna cancel Woody Allen. I'm not gonna cancel those people.
Woody Allen movie?
No, I'm just saying
I didn't think you did.
Because no, but in Hollywood, you hear the rumors about Hollywood.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? And like you said, the Diddy situation is kind of pulling the curtains back a little bit about some of the stuff that was going on, and I can't even fathom that shit. But I love Diddy's latest album. I loved it.
That's crazy.
I loved it. I'm not gonna take it off my playlist, bro. I'm not. I'm sorry.
So, and and it's not just Diddy. Now you can't listen to Big.
Yeah, Big has some questionable lines, man.
I mean, Big does?
Yeah, do you remember he's gonna suck she's so fine I want to suck her daddy's dick or something like that?
I don't remember that one.
I gotta find it. That's one that comes up a lot.
But it's art, bro. Like at the end of it's art, and I think the answer, if I'm going to answer your question, the answer is yes. I will separate. Again, I'm a white man, so my opinion doesn't matter. But I will separate the art from the artist, because if we went down, look, they say never meet your idols,
right?
And I've learned that not even just idols, but people that you admire, never meet them, because you're like these are humans. They're flawed and fucked up.
Exactly.
And sometimes creative people are the worst.
Yes, that's a good point.
And if we really knew about everybody,
we probably wouldn't have an entertainment industry.
You know what I mean? Now, there's sometimes things come out that are so horrible that...
And I agree with that. That's kind of how I feel.
But like Mike, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to say I don't care, but like I'm never going to stop listening to Michael Jackson, bro.
Yeah,
ever.
Me neither.
Never going to not listen to Mike.
Yeah, I don't know. And then it's different if you're a serial abuser.
Okay.
As opposed to if
you're
not
listening to R. Kelly then.
I'm not getting rid of R. Kelly, bro. How many times you gonna make me say it?
You didn't say that. You didn't commit to that.
No. I'm not getting rid of most of these. Most of them.
Show canceled before it even come out.
I'm just being honest, bro. I separate the art from the artist, bro.
But I think I'm okay with that. But again,
it's tricky. It's tricky.
No, it is.
It's tricky.
It is tricky. Getting back to cancel culture, another thing I don't like is that people can't have a debate without using it as a crutch. I remember one time online I was having a debate with somebody, and this is when I used to do that shit. I don't do that shit anymore, but and it was with a woman, and she just pulled out patriarchy and all this stuff, and it's like, now we're not talking about the issue.
Right.
Now you're just saying that this is that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay. And I promise in this conversation it wasn't related to that. She was just at any time somebody could just say, "You're a white male. What the fuck?"
Exactly.
All right.
And I think that's
I'm okay with
so
that.
Idiotic.
Yeah,
I think that's idiotic.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Again, there's even context for that, and that's somebody like me is like, okay, I get it.
But I think, and this is where I believe cancel culture is, like you said with the Bill Cosby situation, and I think because I was so young, a lot of those lessons in Bill Cosby I probably weren't even catching. Right. So,
right.
But like you say, a lot of these conversations that they don't even start unless some of these things happen, because it's so taboo to talk about some of these things, right? And share opinion because black and white. So now it's like you can't speak free and open because you're a white man, and I might get offended because I'm black. I think that's bullshit. And I think because of how, and I to be honest, I think both of our upbringings and kind of where our path has taken us and just experiencing people from different realms and just in different avenues, I think we're so open-minded that we can have these conversations, but not everybody can.
No, and it's like everybody's really, really fragile right now, man. And I, we talked about that too, right? Like I grew up in a household where anything could be talked about,
right?
And I think there's a lot of value in that, man.
Tremendously.
Like tremendously. And we don't. And I think if we did that as a country, like, and I'm guilty of this too. If somebody's a Trumper, I'm probably going to be like, I don't fuck with you.
Right.
But like, maybe it's better. And I actually did that during the pandemic.
What?
I didn't finish my point. My bad. So when Trump won, I was just like, matter of fact, if you look at my Facebook, my last, I call it face fuck. My last face fuck post was with the night Trump won.
Wow.
Before that, I was active on Facebook.
Wow.
If you go look me up on Facebook, my last is on November 2016. I said, well, white folks took their country back, and with that, I'm out.
Wow.
That was literally the last time I ever went on Facebook, because Facebook was such an integral part of him winning that I was like, I can't. Fuck
Yeah, I
with
could
shit.
see that.
And I would, like, anyone that's a Trumper, I'm like, well, you're a racist fuck you. Mm-hmm. You know,
But you'll still have a conversation with them.
well, for a while I didn't.
But then there's levels to it, though, right?
There are levels to it, but that's wrong for us to do that.
Which part?
To just dismiss
Shut them
somebody
out,
of
right?
hand
Because they think different.
because they think different.
But essentially, the country's built on that.
No, it didn't used to be like that. It's grown into that.
So
But
you don't
it
think
didn't used to be like
Republican
that.
Democrat is that?
Ronald Reagan is the god of the Republican Party. Ronald Reagan could not get nominated as a Republican candidate now. He was for immigration amnesty. They have gone so far beyond, and he was growing up in my era. Ronald Reagan was like the devil. But I would fucking love Ronald Reagan over Trump. If you gave me Ronald Reagan or Trump, I'd go with Reagan all day. That's how far they've gone that way with it, right? But what I was going to say is that it played out in the pandemic in our business. And my partner, who didn't do a good job of this, when we were dealing with the vaccine thing, people who didn't want to get vaccines, he would just get like pissed off and be like, well, what fucking crazy conspiracy shit have you been listening to? And people was getting offended. I was like, bro, chill. I had the conversations. And even though I thought it was dumb and a lot of the stuff, I wanted them to get vaccinated. So what I did is I listened. Well, enlighten me, teach me, tell me what you read and a lot of times what they read was bullshit, or they couldn't give me the source of it.
It goes back
one dude was the funniest conversation. He was a rock star, so we knew we couldn't press him too hard, right? And I'm asking him about this, and he's like, you know what, man? He goes, listen, man. He goes, you ever heard of the belly? What do you say? You ever heard of the mark of the beast? No, never heard of that. Basically, his wife was, on YouTube and Facebook all day and was like, the vaccine was the mark of the beast and the devil and all that. And I was just like, whoa. And the dude finally was just like, hey, bro, my wife's just on my ass. She was like, and we laughed.
You respected that so much,
like,
though.
Don't say anything else, man. I got you. Don't even worry about it. But a conversation, whereas my partner, punk ass, he was like, judging and condescending and all that. I listen. He still didn't get the vaccine, but at least there was an understanding. You know what I mean? We have to talk to one another. We have to, and more importantly, we have to listen.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think, like you said, that is one of the biggest issues. Is everybody thinks their way is the right way, and you have all of these different. And I think you and I have talked about this on here. Is when it comes to why I don't get into politics and stuff like that. It's just I just don't know who to believe. Right. You know what I mean? And some of these people are pretty convinced. Like, I don't get into conspiracy theories. I'm too much of an overthinker.
I don't either.
It's like, bro, you're gonna have me not able to sleep at night because I'm gonna be thinking about this shit. You know what I mean? And it's like so when it comes to, to bring it all back full circle, when it comes to just cancel culture and just getting rid of people for past transgressions, I sometimes struggle with that, bro.
What do you think when they get a Hollywood actor and in fucking high school they dressed up in blackface?
What do I think about that?
Yeah.
I'm not offended by that.
Well, I mean,
I also went to an all-white high school, right? So I had a situation when I'm new to the school. It's this one kid. I'm not gonna say his name, but we became cool. He was a cool little white dude. He reminded me of the back catcher from Sandlot. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, so he kind of looked like him and acted like him a little bit. But anyway, he
It's a great movie.
I love Sandlot. It's a classic. But he makes a comment where he goes, "Hey, Justin, tell your grandfather thanks for this shirt." And I'm like, but it's because it's made of cotton.
Wow.
Right. That's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
Now, do I think that dude was racist in the 9th grade? I honestly don't think that. I just think he got too comfortable with me, and I had to check his ass and let him know. I had a teacher, same year.
Wow.
Teacher come to me, use American History X. Have I told you the story before? American History X, you seen that movie?
No, I never seen it. I've heard about it.
So they used to make the black people bite the curb and stump on the back of their head.
Right.
My teacher comes up to me. I don't think I saw the movie. I don't even know why I saw that movie at such a young age. He goes, "Justin, don't you think kids that don't do their homework should get the curb stomp?" And I was like, I went off. But I was always that kid, though. I tried to make it to where I couldn't play in the game that day and everything, because we got into it pretty bad. And he ended up getting fired because he was a wild dude. He used to wild out.
Yeah.
But I think because I went to an all-white high school and I knew some of these people that I think that shit is taught behavior, right? And I think in both of these instances, these guys weren't. I don't think their intentions were to insult me. I think it was literally some hee ha ha that just went too far. You know what I mean? And but I mean, I don't think those dudes. Well, the teacher was different, but I don't think the young dude was a racist in that moment.
What year was that though?
I was 2005.
Yeah, I mean, I can see somebody maybe in my era making that mistake. I don't know if I can give him a pass, bro.
But
here it is again. I'm more offended than you.
Right. But at the same time, this is a school where there's 30 black people and 29 of the black people don't act like Justin because they're not from Oakland. Right. So this is his first time. Then I'm a cool black dude. I'm wearing, you know what I mean?
That does happen. There's a lot of times white people want to see how, they get to. Right. Or they think that that's a way of bonding. Right? Like, let's make this joke and laugh together. You know
and then I can make white stereotypical jokes. Right. You know what I mean? And that could just be, and then before you know it, he thinks it's okay for him to say the N-word and stuff.
And that's funny that you say that, getting back to comedy. Part of, like, when you look at the old, Def Comedy Jam for sure, but also the BET show, what was the BET comedy thing called? But the black comedians in that era, a huge part of their material was white and black shit and making fun of white people. And so I was either the only white person in the room or the only white person in the venue. And the shit cracked me the fuck up. Right. I love when fucking Richard Pryor would do his white voice. Right. That shit made me cry laughing, bro. But, like that kind of humor now, like you can't do that kind of humor. But I think there's value in it to laugh at ourselves, to laugh at our
and then it sparks the conversation because these are conversations that everybody
just laughing together. Now, not in the way that those fucking people try to do, especially the teacher. That's wild.
Yeah, that was crazy. I tried to hurt.
But that's interesting, man. And I just think that people are just like making decisions on how they feel based on what they're reading other people say.
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, they're not taking into consideration that there's other people reading other shit that other people say.
It's diluted from the facts.
Exactly.
That's why I never respond to videos, because you don't know what happened before that.
That's a fact.
You don't know what happened before that.
That is a fact.
Like I say, a video of me could come out where I'm whooping somebody's ass and it's going to be portrayed a certain way, but they don't know what happened before that.
That's why I offer a lot of grace I think working in the bank helped me get better at this, but it's like I try to be such an understanding customer when I'm dealing with people at wherever they work at. Because it's like this morning I went to get an oil change and I'm on the phone with BK and the dude is just being an asshole. I'm an outgoing dude, so I'm like, "What's up, brother? How you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. And he's just and it's like, oh, he must be having a bad morning. Now I could have easily been an asshole back, but that's just not who I am. So it's like,
you're better than me.
Yeah, I don't have that in me, bro. I used to, though, but working at Wells Fargo stopped that.
My thing is competence. If you're incompetent, I get annoyed.
Yeah, and then and then there's the limit, because once you get too bad, I'm like, is everything all right, bro? That's my thing. Is everything good? You sure? You all right?